Caught my best friend of 8 years having sex with my girlfriend, while rushing home to propose, and now they're relentlessly trying to reach me. I, 26 male, and my GF 26F, let's call her Sarah, were in a relationship for about 3 years. It all started when we're doing our masters. I used to have a crush on her, and through a truth or dare game we ended making out. Turns out she too had a crush on me, which shocked me since she was the most attractive girl I've ever known. We began hanging out a lot, and then surprisingly she asked me out. We had a lot of fun together. She legit felt like the perfect partner, and I don't think I could love anyone more. I am Indian and I was living in London. She is half Indian and half British. Despite being a bit conservative, my parents loved her a lot and my friends used to keep nudging us to get married. After our masters both of us got great jobs. I did so good during my masters that my starting salary was 6 digits. It was so great to have such a good job and such an amazing girlfriend and group of friends that I felt the luckiest person ever, and I had even planned to propose to Sarah, and the only person who knew this was my mom, who wanted to help me make it the best proposal ever. Now starts the part where everything just fucked up to the core. My best friends, let's call him Ryan, and I have been best friends for almost 8 years. I legit consider him as my brother. He had a girlfriend, let's call her Tanya. They had been together for 4 years and had also met each other when they were in college. All 4 of us, me, Sarah, Ryan and Tanya, went to the same college for graduation and for masters. One day Sarah and I were chilling in the park. I got a phone call from Tanya saying that she wanted something from my house. Sarah and I were living together at this point. So I went to our house and Tanya was waiting outside my house. I gave her the keys, and while I was there I got a call from my mom who told that my dad had a stroke and I had to rush almost halfway through Europe. I texted Sarah ASAP regarding this and rushed to the train station with a bag. I reached there on time, and due to God's grace my dad was well. There was still no response from Sarah, which surprised me a lot. I tried calling her but she won't return my calls. The day after, I go to my house with flowers like I usually did when I went home from work. I enter the house and hear someone moaning from the master bedroom. I freeze for 3 seconds. I know what was happening and I walk towards the room and open the door, and I see my best friends of 8 years having sex with my girlfriend. I was numb. I couldn't even comprehend what was happening. They both freeze too after seeing. The flowers in my bag fell from my hand. Controlling my emotions, and I ran out of the house and sat in the taxi and asked the driver to just drive away. My mind was still trying to comprehend what had happened, and despite being a strong person on the inside I started crying. The cab driver was a bit aged man who was shocked to see my sudden reaction. He stopped the car and, believe it or not, actually comforted me. He didn't exactly hug me, but he was patting my shoulder and my back. I ended up going to a pub even though I do not drink. I called over a friend of mine who I had known since school times. She came over and picked me up. She drove me to her place. She was newly married and lived with her husband, who was a good friend of mine. I poured my heart out and blessed them for their caring behavior and attitude. They let me sleep on their couch. During all this I was surprised not to receive any calls from Sarah or Ryan. Not like I would have picked it up. It just made me feel so low that I had such a horrible GF and best friend who didn't even have the fucking courtesy to call after what they had done. I slept vowing never to even acknowledge them in my life. I wake up at 3 a.m. in the night with around 100 messages from Sarah and Ryan. A million calls from Sarah. I didn't bother about it. I put my phone on silent and went to sleep. I woke up at 9. I called my boss and told him what happened and I need a day off. He was such an amazing boss. He not only gave a week off, but he invited me over to his house to talk if I ever needed to. I legit thanked so many times and he said he understands. The phone calls and messages had doubled since I last saw them at 3 a.m. I am still at my friend's house. She too took a day off and consoled to me. I ended up telling her that I was going to propose to Sarah and my plans after. I broke down again and she hugged for a while. She told me that though it is hard, I can't let my emotions overwhelm me because I needed to be strong for myself. She even told me that I could take a small mini vacation and that she and her husband have no problem having me at their place for as long as it required. She got a call from her office and she told me that she had to leave due to a sudden emergency at the office. After she left, I opened my laptop and here I am writing about my heartbreak. Update 1. I met Tanya, and after the events that followed I don't know what to believe and I very badly need advices for what I am about to convey. It may be long but please do read it. So at around 9 a.m. Tanya came to my friend's house. Clearly she had been crying cause she looked very pale and had bloodshot eyes. I gave her a quick hug and we sat down for breakfast. She didn't say anything at all. I understood that she was waiting for us to be alone. After reassuring me a bit, my friend and her husband left for work. Tanya and I sat down on the couch. I touched her shoulder and asked how she was doing. She looked at me teary-eyed and suddenly broke down hugging me. Although she too was feeling hurt and needed to cry it out. She started mumbling that she is sorry and that it's her fault. I was sure she must be blaming herself for not being there for Ryan, or she felt bad for what happened to me. I told her that it is not her fault and that they are to blame for our pain. When we broke the hug, she just held my hand and told me that she needed to confess something. I was scared as to what she had to say in such a situation. She first confesses saying that she had an affair with one of her ex for who she met at her workplace. It had been going on for a few months. The day she had called and asked for my house keys, she had planned to meet her AP there. So apparently after I left with my stuff, she and AP did it in my house. I was fucking shocked. It turns out during this time Sarah had come back to our house and found Tanya having sex with her AP in her room. At this point I really was wondering if my house was a fucking place where people had sex whenever they felt like it. I was silent for a minute and asked her that Ryan too cheated on you, so why are you saying it is your fault that I was cheated on? So apparently here comes the part that I'd give I should believe. Tanya's app had his back towards the door, and when Sarah entered the room she thought it was me and Tanya having sex. I laughed. I legit laughed and told her that it was a nice story, now tell me the truth. She took her phone out and showed her conversation between her AP, Sarah and Ryan separately. The convos basically included things where Sarah calls Tanya names and that I was unfaithful to her and had the nerve to use the excuse of my father's stroke to throw her off. Tanya didn't even try telling that it wasn't me. So it turns out that Sarah and Ryan were influenced by some of our mutual friends to have a revenge affair on us, me and Tanya. They at first denied since they felt uncomfortable, but after a lot of nudging they finally did it. The day I returned from the hospital where my father was when they planned to do it. She further explains that she was called to my house after I left. By then Sarah and Ryan both were shocked with my behavior, the flowers and my tickets and bills. They fucking called my mom to confirm if I indeed had visited them, and my mom confirmed it. It's when Tanya spilled the beans that she was having sex with her ex and not me, and that I was still faithful to Sarah. This is when reality apparently hit both Ryan and Sarah. Ryan apparently slapped Tanya, which wasn't the kind of attitude I was expecting from him. Sarah screamed and broke down crying. Turns out that since then they have been calling me and trying to reach out after realizing that they were the one who ended up breaking my trust. When Tanya finished talking, my first instinct told me to shout at her and kick her out of the house, but I was so emotionally drained that I started to cry and suddenly began laughing. I looked at her and asked her just one question: are you telling the truth? Tanya says that she swears on her father's grave that she is telling the truth and that she is really sorry for what she caused me. She broke down crying real hard. I just sat there quiet for a while. I asked for her phone and took the screenshots and sent it to myself. I asked her to leave the house and never try to contact me ever again. She pleaded, saying that she didn't mean to do that. I lost my temper and shouted, saying, yes, you fucking meant to cheat on our boyfriend. Yes, you did want to destroy my relationship cause you destroyed hers. Do you think I would be the same after this? Do you think you will be the same? I cursed and said a lot of mean things to her. She finally left, and before going she said she always thought to me a perfect guy for any girl and she regrets what she did. I just retaliated and told her that her regret and apology won't change what has already happened. She left crying, and I too was so affected that I too began crying. My friend was back home and shocked to see my situation. She sat down with me and I told her everything. She told me not to believe Tanya since she is a cheater and a liar, though she told me that I should maybe read Sarah's and Ryan's text, if not respond, at least read to see how much truth is there in Tanya's story. Update 2. 1. After Tanya left I had a talk with Nikki. She suggested I read the text messages sent by Ryan and Sarah. I took her advice and I read a few of them. It included things by Sarah, like I messed up Plaza callback. It's all a mistake. I love you. Plaza, let me explain. By Ryan, bro, I am very sorry. Plaza, let me explain. I don't have any feelings for Sarah. I don't love her. Please let me explain. It included the same story that Tanya told. As suggested by a few of you, I assumed they planned. And I connected with Tanya's app Nikki's idea. I called him, we talked for a bit, and I decided to meet him in a nearby coffee shop. I told him not to let anyone know we are meeting, else I would mess his career up. I could inform his hour regarding his behavior with colleague, etc. We met soon after, and after seeing him for the first time I felt maybe Tanya wasn't lying. Here is why. 2. He has a similar physique as mine, muscular, tanned, though he was 5 feet 11 inches and I was 6 feet 1 inch. 3. We did fancy a similar hairstyle. 4. He had a tattoo on the back of his neck that looked exactly like mine. Mine is a chakra from Hindu myth. His was a sun with similar design. 5. Nikki was with me. God, I owe my life to her. Many PPL asked me to not stay at her place as she is newly married, but she didn't let me leave when I tried. She told me that she will be with me throughout. I asked a few questions like how long he was having an affair with Tanya and why did he do such a disgusting act of sleeping with someone who is in a relationship. He apologized, like Tanya. I was really angry, but I didn't want to create a scene. I asked him to never contact Tanya or any of her friends again and not repeat such an act ever again. After Nikki and I reached my home, I had asked Sarah to leave through a friend who passed my message. She told me that maybe Tanya wasn't lying and I should talk to Sarah only if I feel it's worth my time. I asked her opinion. She said that meeting her won't change anything, but you might get closure and answers you seek. TBH, I want answers. I am not able to move on without them. I called my mom to confirm things suggested by Redditors. She did confirm that Sarah had called to ask if my father was okay and how his health was. I told her everything ABT meeting Tanya's app as she knew other things already and asked for her opinion. She told me that maybe if meeting her gives me closure and answers then I should meet her, but with someone. Obviously Nikki was coming with me. I didn't want to text or call her, so I told Nikki to do so. She called Sarah and asked her to meet me at my home the next day. According to Nikki, Sarah sounded broken, almost as if somebody had made her swallow glass and was being choked. WTF, that means no idea. I didn't feel any sympathy, which was not a good sign for someone who I would have died for. Update 3. Nikki and I were waiting at my house for Sarah to show up. Sarah shows up at around 10 a.m. Nikki answers the door. I was sitting in the living room with screenshots of texts and messages printed, the ones I found suspicious. Sarah comes in the living room and seeing her brought down every single emotion I have known on me like a sudden bucket dump. She looked real miserable, her eyes were sunken and clearly she hadn't slept in a while. Even though she looked like she had showered and gotten ready somewhat, tear marks were visible on her face. She was literally shivering as she walked in. As soon as she saw, she rushed towards, but Nikki stopped her from doing so and told her that there will be no physical contact and only verbal discussion. She again broke down crying and finally sat on the chair opposite to mine. Nikki made sure to sit in a way such that she could stop Sarah if she plans to come at me again. Although I was ready to talk, I wasn't. I felt so much pain looking at her. It included pain of seeing her in such a horrible state, pain of what she did to me, etc. But Nikki pressed my hand and nodded, showing her support. Nikki starts by asking her to repeat the events that happened. She told the entire story and it did match with Tanya's story and my research. As suggested by others, it might be pre-planned. I then spoke and talked to Sarah. The conversation went something like this. Me, how long have you been cheating on me and how many times have you done it? Sarah, I swear I never cheated on you before. And I never loved anyone but you. I didn't even cheat on you. Me, having intercourse with someone who is not your boyfriend and still being in a relationship seems like cheating to me. Sarah, it was a mistake, it was not supposed to happen, I was deceived and lied to. Me, so you willingly getting naked with my best friend happened by mistake. You having intercourse with him whilst being in a relationship with me happened accidentally. Sarah, Tanya lied to me that you and her were sleeping together and what I saw just confirmed it. Me, so you saw me with her, while I was almost 100 miles away visiting my father who nearly died. Sarah, Tanya's AP had the same tattoo as you, I thought it was you. Me, so you decided to have sex with Ryan without thinking about confronting me then and there. Why didn't you respond to my message? I texted you saying that I was visiting my father due to emergency. Sarah, I thought you were making an excuse so I don't suspect you were cheating on me. Me, how could you even think that I would use my father's health as an excuse? You knew he was unwell and you dare to accuse me of using him as a medium to cheat on you. Tell me something, in the last 3 years that we have been together have I given you any reason that I cannot be trusted or I don't love you? When was the last time you thought I was suspicious? Sarah, never. You were perfect, you loved me and cared for me, you were the best thing that could ever happen to me. Me, I loved you and cared for you and yet you thought I would betray you and leave you for someone else. Sarah, I am sorry, I let my emotions get the better of me and she named a few friends here, kept saying that she deserves better and maybe she should have revenge on me with Ryan. Me, and you agreed? Sarah, I didn't at first, I was against this, but seeing how heartbroken Ryan was, I thought you were evil and the fact that everyone kept telling Ryan and me to do it didn't help me think and I went with it. Me, so you love Ryan more than me, I am such a fool to even think about planning my life with you, marrying you and whatnot. I was so sure about us that I was going to propose to you, I wanted you in my life, but now knowing you love him more, I think it's best we never see each other again. Sarah starts crying very hard. Sarah, I don't love Ryan, not even a single cell of me feels that way for him. I love you. I would have said yes to marry you a million times. Please, I am sorry I messed up. I always loved you and you only. Me, you gave him sympathy sex and you are calling it a mistake. I said this loudly. Sarah, no, I didn't even want to sleep with him. What are you talking about? Me, you admitted to be feeling bad to see him heartbroken and with a little nudge you slept with him. That is sympathy sex and I was gone for 2 days and God knows how many times my bed was used for your worthless sympathy sex. Sarah gets hysterical at this point, crying her eyes out, and saying things like I love you. And I swear we did it only once and it had only one objective and that was revenge. Me, I loved you, knowing that come what may this girl will stand by me in my sorrows, pain and happiness. I was so happy to have someone like you but now you have destroyed my trust, my love in me. Sarah, Plaza, don't say that, I don't have any feeling for Ryan and I never did. I love you with my heart, give me a chance please. I will do whatever you want me to do, even at the cost of letting you have sex with any girl in front of me 100 times I am ready. Me, that's the difference between you and me, I would rather suffer in pain and heal than cause pain to others by getting my revenge on them. Sarah, don't say that please, I can't imagine my life without you, you are my soulmate, I know it. Me, the soulmate who you distrusted, the soulmate who you thought was being unfaithful to you. The soulmates you thought didn't love you anymore. Sarah, I am sorry, I swear I won't do such a thing again, I will go to therapy, work on my emotions and control over them, but please don't end our relationship because of what Tanya made me do. Me, Tanya told you to distrust me, Tanya told you give Ryan sympathy sex, Tanya told you to get naked with him, answer me. Sarah, I am sorry, I should have known better than to trust a cheater. I shouldn't have to listen to, she names the friends again. I love you and I will never stop loving you, please give me a chance. Me, your apologies, your I love yous won't undo what has happened. It won't remove the picture of my GF and best friend having sex from my mind. You had someone else inside you when you were with me, you cannot take that back. You cheated on me, whether or not you did out of pleasure or revenge, doesn't matter. You had someone else in you and you can't change it or undo it. Sarah cried and continued with the I love yous and I am sorry Plaza, take me back, I don't want to live without you in my life. I looked at Nikki and clearly she saw the pain in my eyes. She asked Sarah to leave. Sarah refused and told that she loves me and that she wants to be with me forever. Nikki didn't want more drama and asked her leave or we shall get a restraining order on her. Unwillingly she got up and Nikki escorted her out. While leaving, Sarah kept repeating, please don't end us. We are stronger and better. I love you, please give a second chance. As soon as she was out of sight I slipped from sofa and fell on the floor crying and thinking how I ended up in such a bad situation. Nikki sat next to me and comforted me. She told me to rest and that we will talk about this later. She helped me to the guest room and I was so exhausted I fell asleep. I woke up and saw Nikki's husband by my bed working on his laptop. I was surprised to see him and he told me that Nikki had to run a few errands and she didn't want to leave me alone, so she requested her husband to give me company. I cried a bit and hugged him and told him that I owe my life to them and that I will be with them forever and help them anytime they need my help. He told me it's okay and that knowing my parents too need my help, he wanted to make sure I can get better so I could help my parents. In the last 24 hours a reality hit me that I have been very selfish. I have been focusing on my pain for so long I forgot I had to be strong for my parents who need me right now. Update 4. I called up Sarah and told her that I have come to a decision and I needed to talk to her. She reached my place within 20 minutes. Luckily for me she didn't try doing anything, though she kept saying that she loves me, we can work this out and a lot of other things. Before I told her my decision, I wanted a few answers that a few Redditors suggested I asked because they found her answers suspicious. Me, I want an honest answer and you cannot lie because I have my evidence as my bluff. Have you ever cheated on me before? Sarah: no, never. I never even let that thought come to me. Many of our friends had crushes on me, this was news to me, and used to flirt, but I never responded back to them. Me: how many times did you have sex with Ryan? She starts bawling and saying that she loves me and it meant nothing. Me: just answer my question. Sarah: we did it twice, the day you saw us and the night before. Many Redditors had suggested that the time I caught her cannot be their first time, and her answer just confirmed. It dawned to me that she did it twice, meaning she wanted more after the first. Even if there was a single cell that still loved her and cared for her died right there. I looked at Nikki, she looked at me and slightly nodded her head. I looked back at Sarah. Me: okay. I got my answers. I am going to ask you to leave and never try to contact me again, and that I need my space and that the relationship is over. This news hit her real bad cause she fell on her knees, hugged my legs and started crying. I told her this was of no use and she should continue her relationship with Ryan or with someone else and that I am not the right person for her. She kept saying, please don't it end, you are my life, my happiness, I don't want to lose you. I told her that I don't care and that if she doesn't leave right now it won't be good for her. She refused to move and not even threatening the cops flinched her. She looked at me, said, I don't care whoever tries to stop me, I love you and will always do forever. I gently pushed her away and freed myself from her hug. I told her that it's over and that she needs to move on. It was getting out of hand, so Nikki literally dragged her away from me. I wanted to call the cops but didn't want to cause problems. I however called the cops and got restraining order on her, just to make sure she doesn't cause issues. She has been constantly messaging and calling. I finally blocked her. I know it took me a while. Few of our mutual friends tried contacting, but I blocked the ones I knew who were a bad influence. I was a mess and still am right now. I asked Nikki to leave because I felt like she had done a lot in this healing process I must do alone. She refused, but I begged her and she unwillingly left. I am feeling a lot of pain, but I know this pain will get over soon. I had loved Sarah a lot. Thought it was only 3 years. I felt like I have been in love with her my whole life, and removing someone takes a toll. I however deep inside feel relief knowing that life will get better and that I won't be haunted from my past as I have decided to let go. Update 5. A few of my friends who pushed for revenge affair have been trying to call me and apologize and whatnot. One of those friends even showed up at my place saying that she is sorry for what she did. I told her that what she has to say, I don't consider her or any of them as my friends anymore. She told me that Sarah is horrible and that she has been crying non-stop ever since she left my place. She tells me that Sarah hasn't been eating properly. She tried to harm herself, not suicide, but hitting herself on the mirror, slapping herself and a lot of other stuff. I told her that the way you helped her have a revenge affair, I am sure you can help her move on too. She tried to say more but I shut the door in her face. According to my friends who I trust, they have been receiving non-stop calls and messages from Sarah since I blocked her everywhere. They tell me they haven't responded and that they plan to keep it that way. I was really glad to hear that. Update 6. So yes, I did have a talk with the RA friends. I first had a talk with 2 girls from our group who according to Sarah had proposed the idea. FYI, I recorded the meet and had my friends with me, so they both were super apologetic and kept saying that they shouldn't have urged Sarah to do what she did. One of them confesses that because she had a crush on me she thought this as a good idea to break Sarah and I off. I asked her that in her eyes I was a cheater, so why would she want to be in a relationship with me knowing I so-called cheated on Sarah? She said that at that moment she only bothered about breaking my relationship with Sarah up and that's why she planted the idea of RA. I asked her if she has been on contact with Sarah. She responds saying that Sarah has blocked her and few of them for the past few days. I then asked both of them why they did that. Just having a crush on me doesn't justify taking such a rash decision. I asked them that we have been friends for so long. Why didn't you call me to curse me or call me names when they found out? So apparently they all had promised to go NC with me. Wow, stupidity at its peak. I then asked her that does Sarah have feelings for Ryan? They respond saying that she doesn't. I then asked them if they knew that Sarah slept with him twice. They said no, that they only know about the time they did it in the night the day before I caught them. After a few more questions I told them that I am really hurt getting betrayed not by just the love of my life but also my friends who were my support. They both get emotional saying that they are sorry and that they promise not to take such immature decision. I forgave them but asked them stay out my life as I don't need their toxic nature in my life. They were really hurt by this. They asked if we could be at least in contact once a while. I said no. I left soon after. And I met with few guys who gave similar responses, although one of them was pissed off at me for breaking Sarah's heart. What in the actual fuck? I basically ignored and figured that he has a big time crush on Sarah and whatnot. And now the fact that blew my mind was that few of them knew about Tanya's affair with her AP. Boy, that one hit me like a bag of bricks. I was so mind fucked that I couldn't sit there for longer. So after the meet, my friends and I had a talk at my place. The one who theorized that RA was cause the friends had crush on me or Sarah. We discussed further if I planned to meet Sarah. I finally unblocked Sarah on my phone. I ignored all her messages and sent her a text that I would meet her on Sunday and if she can come. So I finally met Sarah and I don't think I plan to meet her again for at least some time. So she shows up at my place and this time I did it alone without anyone, no Nikki and no friends. She arrives and when I saw her I honestly felt like someone punched me in the gut. She was really miserable. She had a few marks on her faces, a few bandages on her wrist. I was really freaked out at this point. Clearly she had been beating herself up as I was told by one of the RA friends. She looks at me teary-eyed and hugs me. I let it stay for a few seconds before pushing her back. We sit in the drawing room. We talked for a long time. So I am gonna just show the convo in a nutshell. Me, before we start I just want to be clear that I won't be reconciling and that you should get that thing out of her head. She just nods. Me, why are you hurting yourself like this? Do you really think I feel happy when you are hurting yourself this way? She, I can't forgive myself for what I did. I admit to have done it twice but not out of pleasure but because I wanted to hurt you more. Me, I am not here to talk to you about that anymore. I didn't call you for this. She, I know what I did was wrong. I was rash, immature and stupid. I shouldn't have been so carried away with my emotions. I shouldn't have distrusted you. It's just that I loved you so much and that I used to always feel you loved me just as much, but when I thought you were being unfaithful all that love converted to hatred for what I thought you did. I am sorry, I shouldn't have been so stupid. Please, I don't want to move on in life without having you in it. I can't. Me, it's good you understand what mistakes you have made and I hope you won't repeat those in your future relationships. Look, I don't think you harming yourself will change what has happened. And at this point you are hurting yourself and me too. So I am gonna ask you to stop doing it. She, how can I forgive myself for what I did? I legit destroyed a relationship which I thought was broken but was actually perfect in every way. I realized how lucky I was to be in such a good relationship and how I hurted the person who I thought was bad but was actually the person who cared for me the most. I know I have even destroyed you and us and I cannot let myself live with that pain and guilt. I then tell her about the RA friends and the guy who had a crush on her, etc. After listening to the recording she buried her face in her palms and began crying and saying things like, why did this happen to me? Why did I listen to them? I then explained her that there is something broken in our relationship that cannot be fixed. I however told her that I am willing to be just friends with her and that she can approach but only for emergencies, but for now I want my space and I don't want her to do anything foolish and try to move on with her life. She asked if there was a possibility that we get together again in the future. I told her that I'd what future holds for me and neither does she. It's possible she finds someone or I find someone, but for now I want my space, no contact unless I decide to talk to her again. She agreed to it and told me that she is ready to wait a whole lifetime if that's how long it takes me to get with her again and that she will wait for me. We talked about a few things and I told her to leave after. She asked for a last hug. I was reluctant, but I didn't want to hurt her more, it's not who I am. So I did give her that hug. It lasted longer than before. She sobbed a bit on my shoulder. I finally broke the hug. While doing so she kissed me on the cheek for which she apologized right away. I knew at that moment that it was a bad idea and I need to be NC with her at least till I'm healed. She left the house after that. I honestly felt as if I was able to breathe fresh air and that I was suffocating anymore. As of now I'm really going to focus on myself. Heal. Try to make new friends. There is this GRP in my office who I feel have the same vibe as me. I have talked to them. Might befriend a few of them. As for the people who suggested I tell Ryan about how few friends knew about Tanya's affair, I had no intentions of calling him, so I emailed him the audio and the summary of the convos and blocked him again. I am doing better, not completely fine but much better. My father has healed to a great extent. THX to everyone who wished for his well-being, Nikki as well too. I still haven't done anything for her yet. I am still getting my shit together. I did receive Ryan's call through an anonymous number. I talked to him for I think exactly 5 minutes, well mostly him, I barely answered, and he asked if we could talk face to face. I said no and cut the call. He did try to call a couple of times since then but then stopped. He probably realized that it's of no use since I won't budge. Haven't heard from Sarah. Though one of my friend did tell me that she has quit her job and is in individual counseling. I did run into one of the RA friends at the store. She tried to offer coffee, something along those lines. I politely declined as she kept trying to talk to me. My job's going well. I made 2 really good friends from work. They both are really great PPL. That's for now, I guess. Thank you to all those who were checking up on me time and again. I am doing really better. Went to few more sessions of therapy. Mentally I feel fine. I do sometimes feel really emotionally drained, but that's become better. Hey Reddit. What's up? Been gone for long. Apologize to all those whose DMs were responded late. Higher position in work is my target, so busier days. Just wanted to say doing fantastic. Life's in a place I never thought it would be after that phase. Nevertheless, I'm glad there are many of you who did constantly text me, and I am truly touched by your support. Those who want to know about my ex. Well, she is in the city I live in. See her sometimes around. Not much in contact with her. We talk on calls like once in a month sometimes. Besides that, Dad is in good shape. The other, he came to visit me for like a week. Heck, he even went to gym with me. So life is good. I'm grateful to everyone who helped me in this phase. I don't let that phase disturb me, and you guys are always there to help me not stray away from the right path. Thank you.